am so excited and so cold here in the Smith & Wollensky dry aging room. Thank you so much for having me in this meat paradise.
I appreciate you coming by.
So first of all, what is this room and why would a restaurant need this? Why does the meat need this?
Well, this room is basically our bread and butter. This is how we make our money. We're known for our dry-aged meat, prime dry-aged meat, and what it does, it sets us apart from everybody else because most people don't have the facilities to do something like this, and that's one of the reasons why we're one of the busiest restaurants in the world.
Yeah. And so for someone who says, what does that mean, dry aging? They see all this meat sitting out and they're going, oh God, wrap it up, put it away. Like my mom said, it can get, this and that. I mean, well, what is dry aging?
Basically, as you see, it breaks down all the impurities in the beef. It breaks down the tendons and the muscles. It dries out the meat. It pulls the moisture out of the meat, so it makes the meat that much more tender. And since we do buy all prime beef, which has the most fat content in it, that's what you want to do.
And people look at the age. There's obviously too little dry aging. There's too much dry aging. What should you look for when you're at a restaurant and you see a certain amount of time?
We dry age anywhere from 24 to 32, 33 days. So anywhere from 4 to 5 weeks.
And why is that the prime amount of time?
Because it takes that long for it to cure itself, to break down, like I said before, so that it dries it out properly and it becomes its most tenderest at that point. I think after 35 days, a lot of people do age it from 1 to 35. I don't think it enhances it at all.
So you think that's kind of the right window to get like the right level of kind of a little bit of funky flavor into it without going too far?
That's what, after 37 years, that's what I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have a little bit of experience on this topic. And so for people who are wondering like what you put on it, different cuts of meat, how do you approach different cuts, and is there anything that goes on the meat?
No, we put a little, it's called love on the meat after it's finished being cooked before it goes to the table. So it's a little secret recipe we have.
Yeah.
It just enhances the meat a little bit more. But why it's dry aging, we do nothing to it. We take it in the front doors. I look at every piece of meat that comes in the building, and then we tag it, we weigh it, we put who the purveyor is, the date, and it comes into here. And then from here, it stays where it is. It never moves. It's a rotation system. So that if we pull today's meat here, we normally put the new meat that goes in its same spot.
And so talk to me about the conditions of this room. You can probably hear the fan as we're talking. What is the setup of this room? What is the temperature? What's the circulation? Like, how do you keep this room pristine?
Well, it's basically around 600 square feet. We have a heat trick system for a refrigeration system. So what it does is it tricks the refrigerator into thinking it's either too cold or too hot. So if it gets down, we try to keep it in between 34 and 38 degrees.
Yeah, it's so warm in here. I feel so great.
Where your refrigerator at home normally goes up to about 44 degrees and then shuts off, 42, 44. And then the cooling won't come on for another half an hour. Here, it's on all the time.
Right.
So it moves the air around, and that's what dries the meat out. And we like to keep the humidity around anywhere from 60 to 70%.
And let's talk about people dry aging at home, because I think for a lot of people, they're afraid the meat is going to spoil. What do you recommend for somebody who says they want to try their hand at dry aging?
Well,
do you recommend it?
No, I don't recommend it at all. I recommend you go to your local butcher shop or come here.
Yeah.
But no, you really can't dry age your meat in your refrigerator at home.
Because
it's a completely different process.
Yeah.
You don't have the air circulation in there. You don't have. We have all these. It's all wire shelves that the air circulates through it. The refrigeration is never off. It's always on.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why I don't think that you can dry age at home.
And what about dry aging other types of meat? Obviously this is like a beef lover's paradise.
Yeah.
But can the same principles apply?
Absolutely. They've been dry aging, curing meat and dry aging it forever. So you can do it with anything. We've done different things. We've done some game animals here and things like that. But basically right now it's all beef.
And what do you think is the best? Obviously you can order a steak not dry aged at all, but what do you think are the best cuts that benefit most from dry aging?
I think the rib steak is the best cut of beef, and I think it benefits the most because it's got the most fat content in it.
And how much steak do you eat in a week, or are you just like over it at this point?
No, I still do eat steak, but it's only 1 or 2 times a week, so Chicken. My wife makes me eat chicken.
She's like, enough with this steak. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for illuminating the dry aging process and bringing us in here in this very cold room here at Smith Wollensky. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming by.
And obviously, if you want to try more, you can come in here. Maybe not in the dry aging room, but you can definitely get some of the meat for yourself. Thank you so much for having me.